Welcome, Scorpio. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do full moon and Pisces reading for you, active on the 27th of August. Also, a partial lunar eclipse. And I'm almost done talking about this. This is the second to the last eclipse in a cycle that began a couple of years ago, which is about, as you can imagine, profound release of old patterns, old stories, old frames of understanding and perception, patterns that don't help us, that don't serve us, that don't advance our goals now, that don't advance our dreams now. And this is as a release, as a result of that kind of a release, a sense of newness, a sense that your body is embodying these changes, a kind of catching up with your conscious awareness. So ideas and awareness, consciousness serves no purpose if it's ideas, if it stays in your head. Your body has to embody the progress, the growth that you have sustained over a long period of time. And this is a validation, a recognition of this tremendous progress. But it is one that we tend to minimize, right? Shouldn't I be over that by now? I can't believe I'm still thinking about that person kind of energy, right? It's been years since I've thought or heard from that kind of thing. We fragile humans must be patient with ourselves, must be gentle with ourselves. So the crystal spirit I pulled for you is amber. And amber is, as you know, it's really fossilized tree sap. It isn't really a gem, but it does represent family patterns of pain and suffering that have been passed down. So there's some kind of a release of karma, even more deeply profound than simply old ways of doing things, old patterns. This karma has been perhaps embedded in family systems for generations, and you are the recipient of patterns that have taken you quite likely a lifetime at least to recognize, identify, and release. Even as astute as you are, Scorpio, the actual work of releasing this kind of generational karma or family patterns that have been passed down is tremendous. There is real physical exhaustion involved here. This embodiment is profound in every area of your life, in every routine, in every daily habit. So there has likely been a really deep healing process that you've been on that in which no stone has been unturned. And in that turning is the reification of the experience of patterns of pain and suffering, damage, trauma, heartbreak, hardship. And for your soul's journey, the regret card. I know I cannot change the past. Yeah, and this is really about being gentle with yourself, right? As long as we're regretting the past, as long as we are thinking about what we could have or others should have done differently, we're still attached, we're still holding on, we're still finding a reason why. And even if these are not patterns of yours, and they're not, this is suffering that you have inherited, it is still your responsibility to heal it, to release it. That responsibility falls to no one else. So regret, certainly, it's human to feel regret, sadness, or sorrow about maybe missteps we've made along the way, even blatant errors we feel we have, or crimes we've committed. And when I say crimes, I'm thinking of crimes of the heart. Unlike well, never mind. But this is a caution that the thoroughgoing healing process has many tendrils, strings, and threads that are still dangling, that still pull your memory back in ways that can be unkind to you, unfair to you. This is calling for you to forgive yourself. And in the present, the Nine of Wands. So this is telling me that you're releasing this kind of what is called in, I don't know, romance parlance, struggle love. Where love is hard, where love is difficult, where love has been a conflict, where love has been characterized by aspiration, complete, impulsive, and passionate desire, and then been blocked in any number of practical ways along the way. This can also relate to the development of your talent, your gift, your expression that has been a part of you. You are compelled to express yourself in a certain way that has experienced blocks, obstacles, tensions, resistance from others. So there are ways in which we have built a wall, and that wall is busy being adjusted. Certainly defenses are essential at various parts in your life, but your spiritual growth is now at a place where you are internalized that determination to achieve something. And that determination is what you need. You don't need defenses anymore. You already know how to defend yourself. You know how to be cautious and circumspect. You know who you can trust and who you can't. And so the defenses are no longer necessary, but that does not mean you have not given up. By no means. You're still invested in every aspect of defending what is your expression, what comes natural to you, what you want to grow and expand in your life. In the past, the Three of Swords. Wow, this is pretty straightforward. This is talking specifically, again, for many of you about your creative expression. In this story I'm hearing is that you were either discouraged from some kind of creative expression, or the creative or artistic talent that you have was in part a refuge for you over and against this pain, this need for defense, this opportunity for solace, for retreat from what might have been a harsh and oppressive environment in some way. This right now is really talking to me about mother love, or the lack thereof, or the limitation that you experienced in mother love. Perhaps the mother was not able to find her own expression in life, and that wounded you in many invisible ways. The pain, the sorrow, the heaviness, the suffering you experienced seeing your mother denied was particular for some, not all of you, but for some. This can be a parent, this can be a loved one, but this feels formative. So your talent, perhaps nurtured by a parent who was unable to find their own productive expression in the world, and so nourished you in a way to ensure that you would have that thing that expressed you, something they felt they had been denied. And in the future, the Empress. Well, this is the great mother, the great Mother Nature, the great Mother Earth. So this is the archetype of the divine feminine energy. This is knowing your power, knowing your gift, developing your gift, putting your gift in action, knowing what work is required to back that gift up so that you know how to make things work. You know how to be productive with your special expression or talent. And you know how to embed that in a system, in an organization where you are attuned to those you work with, those who work for you, or those you work for, and you are keen to the cycles of amplifying a harvest, making something expansive, growing the power of something by, in your own way, sharing that with your community around this expression. If this reading is resonating for you, Scorpio, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I greatly appreciate the support that you give me. Your presence here means a lot, so thank you for that in advance. For the Three of Swords in the past, we have the Hanged One and the Sun. And the Nine of Wands in the present, we have the Six of Wands and one more for the Nine of Wands. And the Page of Swords and the Empress. We have the Six of Swords and the Four of Wands. So, in the past, two major arcana, the Hanged One and the Sun. Yeah, there's interesting. So, the story that I was coming through around the relationship of you with a parent or a loved one who facilitated your expression, facilitated your not only loving protection from that parent, but also your sense of being special, being unique, being loved, being joyful, that you deserved joy, you deserved the opportunity to cultivate a different perspective that was unique to you, that gave you joy, that found the joy in the world to express through your gift or talent. So this is really quite interesting because this parent was perhaps not even aware that they were being denied. They were just culturally limited, socially limited, perhaps confined to a very traditional role or a role that suited the well-being of others. And so they may not have perceived themselves as being oppressed or repressed or held back in any way. They might have felt that this was their job. Their job was to help you to gain the perspective that was unique to you, that they didn't have, they couldn't have, and that was leading to this authenticity in your experience, this pathway to your true voice, to your true experience of the abundance that was available to you. So there's this kind of privileged place I see you in your formative years, despite whatever patterns that were limiting or that blocked some of that expression, some of that experience that was uniquely yours. Your parent, a loving parent, your mother in particular, gave you some kind of sense of being special, being divinely gifted, ordained. There's something there. And I'd love to know if any of you had that kind of experience as a child. I certainly did. And I know what a gift it has been for me throughout the entirety of my life. Just that knowing that someone who wanted to protect that, give that to me, the sense of being really privileged to have education, access, training, an opportunity to develop fully in some original way. So in the present, the Nine of Wands, this release of struggle love, I love that expression. Many of us can relate. The Six of Wands and the Page of Swords. And what is interesting here is that you've had some recent victories. You've had many victories along the way, but some recent victory, some recent breakthrough or opportunity to work in a productive environment in which your voice was elevated, something you created was supported, and you've been recognized for it, has helped you identify kind of the limits of what you know. And this is about stoking your curiosity because you've moved to a new stage in your creative process, in your development of this talent. And bumping up against what you don't know is actually empowering you to find out. And this is like you opening up to working with others that you may not have had the opportunity to work with in a particular way, or recognizing the need for a marketing plan or an agent or someone who assists in creating the container for your creative product. Sometimes this is called a brand. But this is where you are asking for help, looking for support, gaining more information, doing more research, perhaps employing some kinds of technological tools that you are becoming more familiar with, that you are taking the time to learn. And this is no small feat because you are basically a bit depleted. And it isn't from this creative process, because for many of you, the creative expression gives you energy, energizes you. At the same time that it stimulates you, it also soothes and relaxes you. It's almost like dreaming time. It's not that it isn't work, it's a lot of work, but it's good work. Kind of like John Lewis's Good Trouble. And in the future, the Empress card is clarified by the Six of Swords and the Four of Wands. You're definitely moving away from a lot of challenge. And moving away can mean that challenge, struggle, heartache, disappointment is moving away from you. So you're distancing yourself from things that have hurt you, from environments where you don't feel productive. You don't feel seen or heard through this empowerment you're gaining. And this is leading to the foundation of something very creative that you're building. This is not in isolation. This is part of a community that you are co-creating with others. This community supports the work that you do and supports the work that each member does, celebrates this growth, this expansion, this expression that improves upon an environment or opportunities for individuals, communities to grow, to expand, to learn more, to experience, to be exposed in the world. So this is quite, no wonder you're tired, Scorpio. If you are indeed tired, and I'm sure not all of you are, because this is the kind of star pattern that is being reinforced in our experience, this incredible exhilaration at this brand new horizon that you have manifested for yourself. These are dreams that you have called into being. You've done the work to make these opportunities available, to see them patiently emerge. And yet you are sustaining so much growth, so much progress that your body is trying to keep up with you. So get that rest, get that sleep. We all need it right now. This is a time of tremendous change and breakthrough. So I'm going to finish this off with a flower card, and I pulled a cyclamen. And the key word is resignation. Say goodbye to what you no longer need. And it's interesting, this is hitting on the regret card. releasing this regret, releasing your attachment to sadness and unhappy feelings, a feeling of frustration or woulda, shoulda, coulda. Instead, acceptance, right? Radical acceptance of your path, moving forward towards beautiful flowering and unfolding gifts. Thank you, Scorpio, for this reading. Until next time, namaste.